everyone, welcome to my channel and another episode of Bicycle Touring Talk. This is edition number 104 and it's part of a series about cycling coast to coast, west to east, across Canada. I am George Schlacek and I believe that cycling is the best way to get to know Canada or any country. On Thursday, August 3rd, 2017, I was waking up in my tent in a park in Trenton, Quinte West, Ontario. I'd camped there because there were dozens of RVs lined up for a jamboree and my little tent blended right in. Stealth camping in a park, out in the open. It was a rare opportunity at the exact right time. However, I wasn't going to stick around for the party. My goal was to cover some distance that day. I got out of the park relatively early, stopped at Tim Hortons for breakfast and a giant tiger for some supplies and a new pair of sandals. The old ones had seen too much muddy water and some normal wear and tear, so this was a necessary investment. The route I chose is known as Old Highway 2. It led me past a military training facility and some golf driving range. I thought of how similar the activities looked from my side of the fence, and that was on my mind while I was riding. The route led me through Belleville, mostly on a pretty good bike path. I just hammered right through Belleville and on to Napanee, a town I had never really seen except for the highway signs on the 401 expressway. When I found a nice park with picnic tables, I decided to stop there for lunch. There were some electrical outlets available, so I tried to charge all my devices. Almost at the same time as me, the grass cutting guy rolled in with his high-powered lawnmower.
It's probably going to downpour here in any minute. Just in front of me is somebody with a John Deere trying to cut really short grass. Even shorter.
Those things are noisy. Do we need grass that short? I guess it gets someone paid. Oh well. Before I was ready to pack up, that little cloud that seemed to follow me around for most of my tour popped up and I had to seek shelter under a bridge.
I'm gonna have to be ready here to get under that bridge where I'm sheltered from the rain. Yep, that's it. Probably gonna rain here any minute.
Thankfully, it didn't last. My next stop was at a Tim Hortons on the outskirts of Kingston for a coffee, snack, and internet access. How much further was I gonna ride? Once again, the challenge of finding a place to sleep was staring me in the face. The weather was really good now. Camping would be the best. I decided to go to Gananoque and look around there. Once I arrived, I stopped at the visitor center to inquire about camping. This was a tourist area and the civic holiday was coming up. The only accommodations available were simply out of my price range. The lady at the visitor center was very kind though, and when I asked about where I could best get away with stealth camping, she smiled and told me about a place. I left the center not knowing if the information I had was reliable, but it turned out to be just perfect. Just off the Thousand Islands Parkway was a small rest stop called Gray's Beach. It seemed quiet enough, and who would stop here after dark anyways? Without thinking about it too much, I set up my tent in a spot you couldn't easily see from the road. As usual, I fell asleep fast. The next morning, I was up pretty much as soon as there was daylight outside. The first thing I did was take down the tent, and then I had breakfast at the only picnic table on Gray's Beach. I had 2 salami and cheese sandwiches, trail mix, and instant coffee. Just as I was getting ready to leave, that infamous gray cloud popped up again and dropped some rain. There was an old picnic shelter on site, so I loaded up the bike and moved there for a bit.
It's raining outside. It's raining because I am outside. Just enjoying my coffee here, but I had to pack up my breakfast early because the rain was on the way. And now I gotta wait till it stops before I hit the road. But usually thunderstorms aren't that long, so yeah, I camped right over. Don't tell anyone.
The rain did not last, but it convinced me to put my rain jacket on before hitting the road. In this case, the road was actually a very nice trail that runs alongside the Thousand Islands Parkway. I was not only impressed, but truly enjoyed the ride without having to worry about cars.
This trail is in Ontario and it's beautiful.
The parkway was right beside me, but traffic was very light this early in the day. After about 28 kilometers, I spotted a sign for the visitor center of the Thousand Islands Park. So I crossed the road to check it out and use the washrooms. I decided to ask staff if it was allowed to go swimming in the lake, which seemed to be ideal here. It was the perfect place for it. Sure enough, there wasn't a problem with it, so I took advantage. The visitor center is located right at a beautiful spot on the lake, and I could not resist walking around to take some pictures. That was when I met Jeet and his family. Jeet and Madhura are a young couple that had moved to Canada with their daughter from India a short time ago. They were vacationing at the park with Jeet's parents who were visiting from India. We talked about bicycle touring, which they were all very interested in. It was real fun answering their questions and seeing the amazement in their eyes. Just as I was getting ready to leave, Jeet came over and told me about their campsite they had reserved for the following night. He explained that it was at the locks of the Rideau Canal. They were renting an authentic cabin, which is a kind of accommodation Parks Canada offers in Ontario. Jeet invited me to stay with them for the night as there was an extra bunk in their cabin. I was reluctant at first, but the more I thought about it, the more I liked the idea. The route to the Rideau Canal was a bit off my most direct route east, but I had never seen the canal and its old swing bridges and locks. Jeet and his family seemed like really kind people. Why not take him up on the invitation? It would mean a slight detour for me, but still lead eastward, just a little closer to Ottawa. Was this a good idea? I'll tell you about it in the next episode. It'll be out in about a week from now. I'd appreciate if you hit the like button so this series can spread to more viewers just like you. Thanks for supporting Bicycle Touring Talk. Yoo-hoo!